Like Tom Abraham.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Oh, that can only mean one thing. Football Friday in the doghouse. That's not good. It's groove on there. Because it's always Football Friday in the doghouse. And per tradition, we'll serenade you with all football music today. We'll have college football music. We'll have NFL football music. Of course, that little ditty there, the only place you hear it is right here because that is the original Monday Night Football music from some, 54 years ago now when Monday Night Football started. So we've got that out there for you and always bring you in on a Football Friday with that as well. Now, look, we got plenty to get into today. You can jump aboard and talk about anything you want. Let's call it an Open Lines Friday. We'll call it an Open Phone Friday today. How about that? We'll call it Open Phone Friday. You know how many? This is the show that LSU Lynch has been looking for. This is the show that he has wanted. No guests. No guests. No guests. And there's no trifecta today. There's no trifecta. I told you we'll do special trifectas. We did one for the Daytona 500. I thought about doing one. I'm like, they're not going to get into a trifecta. We're not going to do a trifecta today. So we don't have a trifecta. So today is an Open Line Friday. See how you handle this. Let's see how you handle it. A lot of topics to jump into. A lot of minutia to get into. See where you go with it. The latest on the Eli Gold story has taken a twist that I hoped it would not. Eli made the rounds on some talk shows yesterday, and that prompted a further statement from the Crimson Tide Radio Network explaining that Eli was offered the opportunity to host the pregame, to be celebrated, to have his career celebrated and be the pregame host and kind of be like the grand poobah of the radio broadcasts without doing the play-by-play itself, to do the A-Day game as a kind of final play-by-play type of thing. And Eli chose not to do it. He chose not to do that. So all the parties moved on at that point. He wasn't ready to do that. It wasn't a ceremonial position. He would have been the host. He would have been the pregame host of Alabama football in that distinctive tone, setting up the game, talking historically about what's going on, and then handing it off to the play-by-play crew. Didn't want that. He didn't want that. That's fine. Now, one of the shows that he went on was I think it's the morning show at 95.1 The Bear in Tuscaloosa, which is a country music station, with Steve Shannon and DC, Steve and DC. Now, as I said, it's a music station. Now, I don't know Steve Shannon. I got to be totally honest with you. I don't know this DC dude either. They're both big Alabama fans. From what I understand, though, Steve Shannon used to be up here. All right, I think Steve Shannon was on Star 99, maybe before it changed formats or maybe it was after. I don't know. All right. Shannon, as far as I can tell, is, by all accounts, seems to be a great guy. You guys can tell me. Maybe you know him. He's in the market for a while. Steve Shannon. I'm looking at Grizz to see if he's like, oh, yeah, thumbs up, or if he don't know. He don't know. I wouldn't know him if he was sitting next to me in the studio right now. But from all accounts, he's a great guy. But in this interview, this Steve in D.C. on this music station, not a sports station, music station, they chose to, pretty much blubber and pander all over Eli. Even talking about a petition that the station started to get him reinstated as the play. But I don't think that's happening, folks. Okay? Now, I have purposely avoided having Eli on because this is not the path I want to go down. I don't want to go down this path. I don't want to talk about bitterness. I don't want to talk about whether or not Eli was having a problem with Greg Byrne or anybody else. Don't want to go down that path. And I would have to ask him, well, why not take the gig as the pregame? Don't want to go down that path. Now, I will say this. I listened to the 14-minute interview. The first couple of minutes with Steve in D.C. it's troubling to me a little bit. I'll be totally honest with you, it's troubling to me. I'll explain after you take a listen.
First of all, I'm healthy as a horse. That's the one thing I've been hearing from a lot of folks in the last day. Is this anything to do with your health? And it is not. I am, thank God, free and clear of cancer. I am getting stronger day by day. So this is not at all health related. It was just a decision the university made. They chose to go in a different direction, which is their total right to do. I work at the pleasure of the university, and they chose to go in a different direction. And whether I agree or not, which obviously I don't, but they chose to go in a different direction, and we have to respect that.
Eli, did you sense this? Did you see it coming, or were you completely blindsided?
I had an idea it was coming. When it was first broached to me, I was, last year when I was cut back to doing just the road games, just the home games, plus the Iron Bowl, that blindsided me at that point. After having worked so hard to come back from cancer.
Wow.
I didn't expect that.
That's interesting because I think we all had the idea that maybe that was something you wanted to do, just the home games, but you're saying they said only the home games.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, they said only the home games, and I negotiated for the right to do the Iron Bowl. But it's their right. They are the client. They are, they felt it was best for me not to travel. Okay, they felt that, and that's fine. I respect that they were looking after my well-being. The fact of the matter is, I had been totally cleared by the doctors. They knew that, and it was just a decision that they made for me not to travel.
All right. I had a pretty extensive conversation with Eli Gold before the Iron Bowl. And I'm just going to tell you, he told me that he couldn't travel. I mean, he told me he couldn't. He told me that he couldn't be sitting in a sitting position for long flights, even an hour, hour and a half, whatever it would be, sitting on a bus, sitting, in a car, traveling, that by the time it got to the Iron Bowl, that was about the max, to be able to go in a car to the Iron Bowl with stops. He told me flat out that he had trouble getting in and out of the booth, the radio booth, and that they had done some retrofitting or whatever there at home. But he said specifically that I couldn't ask these other stadiums to make accommodations for me. Just couldn't do it. I mean, that's what he told me. Now, was he protecting himself? Was it his ego? Whatever. I've told you my history. I've known him 20 years. He's been a great friend. He's helped me out with various things. He's been a mentor. But there's a lot of pride that's going on here now. And he's saying that he was fine to travel. He was cleared and good to go. That's different than what he told me. So the stories are different. That's all I'm going to say. The stories are different. Now he's going to be doing the Nashville Cats Arena Football League games. He talks in there about, been offered a pro job and a college job and so on. And the pro job is being the voice of the Nashville Cats. And the relaunched Arena Football League, which doesn't look anything like the old Arena Football League, but I'm excited about it because I like arena football. Dean Kokinos, by the way, is the head coach of the Nashville Cats. Our Dean Kokinos. Remember Dean Kokinos when he was the head coach here? And Dean and I became great friends during that time. So I wish Eli 100% all the best. We'll see what happens with him from a college standpoint. But, doing the Nashville Cats gig, I wish him all the best on that. I assume that that's home and away. That interview that you just heard there was before the second release from the network, though. The press release that came out yesterday late in the day. Because he had been making the rounds, and they felt like it was important for them to say that he was offered a pregame, which would have been absolutely perfect for him. All right, so if you want to react to that, react to that. Other topics on the table: Alabama at Kentucky tomorrow on CBS at 3 o'clock and on our air. Pregame begins at 2. Auburn is at Georgia at 5. Deep South's oldest rivalry. Got to make that distinction. I love how it's not the South's oldest rivalry. I forget what was it Virginia, somebody? The South's oldest rivalry is a different thing. This is the Deep South's oldest rivalry. You always got to say that when you talk about Auburn and Georgia. It's the Deep South's oldest rivalry. Got that in there. You got the Havoc with Roanoke in the Hockey Barn tonight and tomorrow night. Roanoke is 4th in the SPHL. The Havoc are 5th. 7 points separating them. 15 games left in the season. Talk about anything you want today. Open Lines Friday. We are wide open. Your call-in number is 256-576-4977. Text the show, 7329-TA-SHOW. 732-982-7469. My X feed is at Thom Abraham Show. Station's feed is at 97.7 ESPN. Facebook is 97.7 ESPN. You can find a link there to our YouTube channel, which is WZZN TV on YouTube. Get our app as well so that you can get all the alternate streaming channels for more great programming. It's all there at the app. Things could be changing on the early signing day for college football, which in fact is signing day because everybody signs now on that early signing day. Of course, it's kind of tied to the transfer portal as well. For the high school kids, I guess this has to happen in the fall or in December. I'd like to see that before their senior year. Let them sign in August. Let everybody get it out of the way. It has to happen now. I mean, it was always that first Wednesday in February, but you can't do that anymore with the first Wednesday in February. That doesn't work because so many of the kids are on campus now. That's what they do. They early enroll, and 3/4 of the signing team will be on campus. So I don't know what the answer is. And speaking of the kids, the details are coming out on NCAA 25. Grace chomping at the bit to get that purchased. Kids will get $600 per player, no royalties. But there is some sort of a provision where a kid can make a few more dollars somehow. 5,000 out of the 11,000 FBS players that were offered the opportunity to take the 600 bones, 5,000 of them signed up on day one. 5,000. I've got the math here for you, and I will do that math for you. But first, over there in the little glass room with the slanted ceiling, playing the platters that matter and the stacks of wax, living large on a Friday. It's Coach Chris.
Who in the blue hell are you?
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put the thing together on a poly.
Brilliant! I've got $100 smoking in my billfold. I know I ought to save it, but it's burning a hole. Right through my pocket and into my skin. Come Monday morning, I'll be broke again. It's finally Friday, I'm free again. I got my motor running for a wild weekend. It's finally Friday, I'm out of control. Forget the working blues and let the time roll.
Down goes Grissom.
Someone call someone because there's a cleanup on aisle 3 as a man is down.
It's like taking poison, like rat poison.
It's not St. Patty's Day, so that's a different day entirely.
Hey, Grizz, what's going on, man?
I'm doing all right. Yeah, no, I'm not overly excited about this video game coming back.
Oh,
yeah,
a
I'm
little
coming
bit
back.
excited.
It's going to be $70. It's going to be overpriced.
Is that what they said?
It probably will be. Most things are going in that direction. Most games like that are either $60, $70.
What was Madden this year? That's
If it's
that's
an
your, that's
early
your litmus.
if it's an early access game, it's $40. I think Madden was 60, maybe 70. I think it
What
was
do you mean
60.
early access?
Like
Yeah.
games that come out that aren't fully completed, games that are still in development, games that you can play, and basically you're like a test dummy, and you're testing the game for the developers, and the
assume it's a
developers
regular-
constantly come up with updated content for your game until
Yeah,
it's
let's just
finally
assume it's a
technically
regular-
quote finished.
Yeah, let's assume it's regular.
Yeah,
you know,
but no, there's
done.
I mean, there's
So
a
if
lot
it's
of new
done-
things that you're not seen
Yeah.
before. There's going to be like a Senior Bowl mode that could be incorporated possibly with how it used to be, where you could take like your old Dynasty mode and you could take it over into franchise mode in the Madden game. So there could be a possibility of that. And yeah, I guess $600 and a copy of the game is not bad.
Oh yeah, you get a copy of the game. I forgot to say that. You do. You get a copy of the game as
Yeah.
well as the. All right, so
It
here's
should
the
be me
math
on the
that.
copy of the game. You know what I mean? Like if I'm the player, like it should be like a portrait of me.
Well, maybe you can do that. You can
Because there's alternate covers. I've bought one before.
Here's the deal. Okay, 11,000 players are eligible. Let's just say
Yeah.
all 11,000 players sign up. All right, that's $6.6 million set aside for the players. $6.6 million. Okay, NCAA 14 back in 2013, the last NCAA game that came out, sold just over 1 million total copies. So that's 1 million total copies. So let's be conservative. Let's say it's not going to be 70. Let's say it's $55.
Yeah.
Let's say it's 50. So that would be $55 million if 1 million are sold. But wait a minute, they have been selling them for years. So, you know, a lot of people in it. This is the first one in 13 years or whatever it is. So this is going to be, or in 11 years, I guess. So this is going to be a lot more, you know, people are going to buy this. It's going to be a lot more. Now, to put it in perspective, Madden in 2013 sold 1.6 million copies. I believe in my heart of hearts, to be honest with you, being that there hasn't been a release in 11 years and there's all these new consoles and everything else now, this is like starting over.
Yeah.
I think 2 million is a conservative estimate. I think they'll say if they sold 1.6 million copies of Madden all the way back in 2013, you can't tell me that 10 years later they're not going to sell 2 million copies of this college football game. College football is so much more popular.
Yeah.
Gaming is so much more popular. So many more people. So let's use my number of 2 million. That's $110 million in sales. They're giving the players $6 million. $110 million.
And a company that's worth $38 billion.
Yeah. And they're going to give the players $6.6 million. Now,
EA way?
Now the way the NFL players get theirs from Madden is there's 3% of all of the NFL licensed properties that go to the union. And then the union is able to take that money and then disperse it to the players evenly. There's only 1,700 NFL players, not 11,000.
Right.
There's 1,700. So they roll in the hat, the jacket, all the licensed stuff, everything you get, the gifts and everything else. You get the Madden. If you carve the Madden out, the NFL players each get a check from NFL properties that's in excess of $200,000 every year. So every hat that you see that's in the stands, every jersey that you see, they're getting 3%, 3%, 3%, 3%. Every single player in the league gets a couple of $100,000. Now, the amount that is attributed to Madden is about $17,000. So an NFL player gets about $17,000 a year from the Madden game. The college kid's going to get $600.
Yeah.
$600. Now, there's 11,000 of them. I get it. But still, hell, all 11,000 college kids are going to buy it.
Yeah.
You know that?
Every kid will have 2 copies of it.
Oh, no, they don't have to buy it. That's right. They're getting a copy.
Well, they'll buy a copy and have an extra copy. Because I guarantee you that.
All right, let's get a break. We'll come back. We got legends waiting to get in on the show. We will get them in next. It's the Thom Abraham Show. You can get in line. There's still some room. 256-576-4977. Get you in. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Do you have discomfort in your legs? Varicose veins can affect not only how your legs look, but how they feel. Symptoms can include pain, heaviness, aching, fatigue, or swelling at the end of the day. If this has been the case, then Varicosity Vein Center can come to your aid. Evaluation and treatment of the veins is performed as an outpatient, utilizes the latest, minimally invasive techniques, and is covered by most insurances. After treatment, patients may resume most normal activities without delay. Varicosity Vein Center now has 3 North Alabama locations, one in Huntsville on South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road. Our new locations include Madison at Madison Hospital Complex and Coleman at the Coleman Regional Sports Medical Center. You can call 256-715-7151 to set up your appointment with one of our experienced and compassionate team members, or you can visit online at varicosityveincenter.com. Varicosity Vein Center, Alabama's premier vein center.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
It's a beautiful day for a ball game.
Here it comes, and there it goes. Fly ball, deep left field, way back. This one is up. This one is gone.
Grab your peanuts and Cracker Jacks and get ready to cheer on the Tide. The Tide plays here all season long on your home for Alabama baseball.
We are your home for Crimson Tide baseball. Catch all of our coverage all season long right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to downtown Huntsville every Tuesday for karaoke on the only outdoor karaoke stage in North Alabama. Thursday night is the Valley's longest running and biggest bike night. Food and drink specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
I wish I could get this stupid jar open. Jars can be tough, am I right?
Who are you? And how'd you get in my kitchen?
It's me, Flo, and I'm here to grant your wish of easily switching to Progressive and helping you get a discount that honors the time spent with your previous insurer.
Great, but what does that have to do with getting this jar open?
Nothing.
So you can't open this?
Oh, I just do insurance. Jars I leave to the professionals.
Sign up for Progressive and opt into more savings. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the lower 60s. Some of us may only climb into the upper 50s. That's still seasonal for this time of year. We're dropping into the low 40s as we head into the overnight early into your Saturday morning. A mostly sunny sky on Saturday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid-50s, dropping into the low and mid-30s through the overnight early Sunday morning. Sunday's going to be beautiful across the Tennessee Valley. We're talking about plenty of sunshine. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid-60s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio.
You know, this process is all about talking ball.
Listen to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond.
What did they want privacy for? To just start talking ball.
Every weekday morning, wake up with Scott and Drew. It's Talkin' Ball. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
By the fine folks at the Orthopedic Center. That's right. These are the orthopedic specialists that pretty much every high school in the region uses. That's TOC Sports. Wolverine Dan. Natty Danny had him fix his shoulder as well not too long ago. And he's better than ever. That's for sure. Alabama A&M, the Huntsville Havoc, they also rely on TOC. But you know what? Doesn't have to be a sports injury. Could be a work accident. Or maybe just breaking down a little bit like Natty Danny was. TOC is the right specialist for you. They're North Alabama's largest sports medicine provider. It's TOC Sports. Stay in the game with TOC Sports. All right, phone lines are open. Bust me off a call. 256-576-4977 get you in. By the way, North Carolina, Virginia is what the Crack Research Team says. That's the South's oldest rivalry. North Carolina, Virginia. Auburn and Georgia is the Deep South's longest rivalry. That doesn't carry over to basketball. I mean, it's like the Iron Bowl, and it's not the Iron Bowl of basketball. I don't think anyone refers to the Auburn Georgia basketball game as the Deep South's oldest rivalry. I may be wrong. Let's go to the lines. Natty Danny leads us off. Danny, welcome in. How are you?
Good. Yeah, I had my shoulder done previous to that. I had both knees sculpted, and that was almost 20 years ago. And I'm starting to feel a little bone to bone, maybe. I don't know, but get on an Eli subject. Listen, he's up there in years. He's not a spring chicken. He's always had a little issue with the waistline. He's a pretty big guy.
Not as much anymore, man. I mean, that's not the way to lose weight. But I mean, his weight is way down. After being in a coma all those months, I mean, that knocked his weight down pretty good.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's not the way you want to lose weight. But as years go on, I can understand why he didn't want to do the travel. The guy, it is what it is, and I respect the fact that. He's had a great career, and he's still doing some stuff national with the football. So it's not, it's sad, but it's not really super sad. I mean,
it's not. It shouldn't be sad. It should be a celebration. Now, here's the thing. He says he was okay to do the traveling. He didn't. He told me privately that he was not, but he's saying on that interview that he was fine to travel. That they stopped him from traveling.
Well, he told you. He said he wasn't okay to travel, right?
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, he told me. He said it was he couldn't do it. He couldn't sit for long periods of time, and that he couldn't ask these other stadiums. They would have to do something in their booths. He just couldn't do it. So he said it was his decision when he told me, but yet on the interview he says it's their decision. So I don't know.
Well, you know what? Look at. I will say this. When I retired, basically, I told it like it was, and what you need to do to get your ducks in a row to retire. And you've got options. You've got a union. You've got all kinds of things. A long story short, it was nothing but information. I thought about just calling people out and telling people. There's people that I work with that are just deadbeats. But you know what? I thought, I'm going to be the bigger man. I'm just going to tell everybody, thank you, and this is the path you need to take. Because carriers before me, Tom, did the same thing. They retired the same way, and they told me how to. So it was my responsibility. And remember,
Eli's not an employee of the university. He did not have university benefits. He was not even an employee of the Crimson Tide radio network that carries the games. He's a jobber, like we all are when we do games. He's an independent contractor. I'll never forget one time when he told me, what he was making per game, and I was stunned. I'm like, to be the voice of the Crimson Tide. He said, well, there's other things, I get speaking engagements, and I get to do, write a book, and I get to do all of those things. But in terms of, game to game, he says, you make more doing your radio show than I make being the voice of the Crimson Tide. And it was shocking to me, but that's the way it is.
The people in this town, Tom, as well as I do, there are a lot of our government retirees like myself. And a lot of these people that are engineers that retired in the government, got their service in government-wise, go back to contracting themselves, individual contractors. They go out there and double dip. So that happens all the time. It's not unusual, and that's exactly what Eli's doing. He's got a name. He's done NASCAR. He's done football. And, he's going to take that name, and he's going to make a little more money on it, which I have no problem with because he's a hustler. He's a go-getter. There's nothing wrong with that. That's everything that, look at. That's what you call being an American, and this is the only country you could do this in. But now, with that said, a couple things real quick. Number one, Red Wings looked really good last night against Avalanche. 2-1, shut them down. Our goalie's really getting hot. Kane scored, and we got him just recently. He's on fire. I like this.
Okay with that?
Doing well.
You okay with that? Being the old, legendary Chicago Blackhawk guy, you okay that Evander Kane is now one of your guys?
Tom, a lot of people, as well as I do, this might one take here, and then I got one more real quick. As well as I do, the people come to Detroit to win Stanley Cups. And that that I'm talking about. There are a lot of good players, Shanahan, a lot of players like that come to this team, and they end up by winning cups. And Stevie's going to get one, and we're going to add one more to it, okay? And I guarantee it. I'm actually even laying a Benji down on him, I think, next year. I really think this team's poised to be something. Now, with that said, I want to pick my 3 drivers.
We're not doing.
What are you laughing at?
Logano.
You can give me drivers if you want, but we're not doing a. We're not doing
come on, Tom. Everybody likes doing that. I had a lot of fun last week. So did Larry and Tim, and we were talking about it.
I mean, you're getting the NASCAR feel of things. I mean, to be honest with you,
I was gonna listen. I'll be honest with you. I was halfway through getting one done, and it was gonna be Alabama, Kentucky, and I was going to give Alabama 4.5. It was going to be Auburn and Georgia as a pick'em, and then it was going to be give me your car for the Atlanta race, and I scrapped it. I'm like, nobody's going to want to do this except for Natty Day.
No, I tell you what, next call.
Bama Brad did text me earlier.
Oh, did
yeah. Well, listen.
Yeah.
What's going to happen is I'm gonna put this out for the callers that call in text. You tell Tom what you think, because I bet you almost 100% of these guys wanted to do another NASCAR thing. You watch. All right. Listen. With that said,
so you would want just a NASCAR fact. You want just you don't like the idea of 2 basketball games and give me your winner in the race.
No, that's fine too. That's fine too. Although I could care less about Alabama and Kentucky. But,
that's a great game, though. I mean, that's a big
just
time
to win.
game.
I mean, I played a game, but, I like the 3 NASCAR things. I thought that was pretty cool. All right.
Okay.
See you. Hey, have a
Appreciate
great weekend. See you.
All right. Appreciate you. I was literally, I'm too honest with you guys. I tell you everything that's going on. I was literally typing. I had literally typed out the text to Captain Cool to put out the the text on social and on Facebook. And then at the last minute, I'm like, screw it. But look, as I said, always brutally honest with you guys. I am in one of those screw it kind of moods today. Chris, you ever get that mood? And my wife is like, she was like reminding me of all the blessings that I have. I am in this. I have this today. I have this screw it mood.
It's one of those moods where you feel like you're going to do something and you don't. And then the whole day got away from you.
I'm not motivated. I'm not motivated as I should be today. I'll be out for some reason. And I don't know why I'm in this mood, but I am in this mood where it's just like, screw it. I just want to go in the barn and put a new line on my reels or something. I want to be alone. I haven't been talking. I don't know. I wish I could be like the dog. You know what I mean? You know how the dog is never in a bad mood.
No.
You ever notice that? Dogs are always in a good mood. Our little dog, Betty, right? Our dog, Betty.
Yeah, Betty Boop.
Betty Boop. She's a Yorkie, so she's kind of hyper. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So
Kinda?
the doctor said, she's kind of hyper. So the doctor said, get these things they called Calm and give them to her at night.
Yeah,
before,
I know what you're talking about.
It's Calm, and it's like a Quaalude for a dog, I guess. I don't know what it. Yeah, it's like to give the dog a joint, before it goes to bed. She'll calm down, she'll relax, and everything else. So the thing is the size.
It's okay.
The pill is the size of an Alka-Seltzer.
Yeah.
And then it says cut it in half, whatever. My dog weighs 10 pounds, right? So it'll cut it in half or small. I give the dog the whole thing. It's for dogs up to 50 pounds. I give her the whole thing, right?
She's like
so
stiff.
I give her the whole Quaalude. The other thing she does is she has been barking a lot. I mean, just barking for the sake of barking.
No, a Yorkie barking at constantly everything.
Everything that moves, she's been barking. So the vet says, well, get a bark collar and train her. Now look, now, I got a bark collar.
Mm-hmm.
Now it has 3 things that you can do on there. You can hit them with the tone, right? You can hit them with a beep, and they don't like the tone, or you can hit them with the vibrator, all right, and it stops her dead cold. I mean, she don't bark for nothing after that. You hit her with that vibrator, and that's it. It's just the third thing is the third thing is the zap. I've never zapped her.
Yeah,
I've never hit her.
I've never been a fan of them.
I do the humane thing. I either use the sound, but the vibrator. I'll hit her with the vibrator every once. So I try to get her to stop with the sound. I'll hit her with the vibrator, right? So our routine is she jumps up into bed with us and watches TV at night, and then falls asleep.
As she should.
Yeah. So she jumps up in the bed. But first, she starts out in the family room. She stays in the family room while the Junkyard Babe and I go in the bedroom at like 7:30. Just in case you never know, something might happen. I don't want the dog in there. You know what I mean? So by 8:30, all right, we're watching shows and stuff like that. So by 8:30. I'll go and open the door to the room, and she'll come running in the room and jump up there, and she's so cute because she's 2 hours into her Quaalude, so she's pretty much knocked out. She's got the CBD working good. So then she falls asleep, and then my wife falls asleep at 9:30, and then I watch TV till 11, and then I turn the light off. Then I pick the dog up. I go and I get the dog, and I pick up the dog off of the bed where she's all curled up next to my wife. I pick the dog up now off the bed. And I go over to her crate, which is in our room. And it's got beautiful padding in it and everything else and a blanket in there for her. And I stick her in the crate. And then I shut the door to the crate in the dark. I stick her in the crate, shut the door, because lights are all off, TV's off. But I know it's, where it is, and I got pretty good night vision. And I'll stick her in there, and then I'll close the crate, and that's the deal. So last night, I go to stick her in the crate, all right?
Yeah.
And bang. I'm like, I missed the crate opening. I think I smacked her head into the, So then I tried to do it again, and I'm like, and I'm holding her. I got my hand underneath her chest, and I'm holding her. She's only a little 10 pounds, right? So I reach again, and I swing her, and I'm like, I'm going to toss her in her crate, and bang, well, I realized the door to the crate is closed.
Oh,
the
man.
Door to the crate is
You
closed.
smashed her face.
Twice into the cage. I'm going like I'm going like
Don't let
the
these
rest
dog
like
people out here hear you.
like in a cage match. You know what I mean? I'm doing that. And so then this morning I get up and I walk her in the morning first thing and I'm putting my shoes on and stuff and I pick the blanket up off of the cage and she's looking at me and she's just wagging her tail and she wants to lick me and everything. And I'm like, how cool is this? I mean, the dog, if I'm the dog, I'm like, look, you drugged me, you drugged me, you electrocuted me, and you smashed me into a cage. Yep. Can I lick you, please?
Yep.
Can
Dogs.
I please lick your hand? They don't care. They're always in a good mood.
Yep.
I want to be like that kind of a dog.
Lady Bird has uplifted me many times in times of just feeling like crud. And her smiles at dogs depend on you.
Care.
Cats tolerate you. That's the reason why I accept cats because cats can go do their own thing. They don't really need your love. But dogs, they need your love, and I don't know why you couldn't. Like, there should never be an unhappy dog. Like, that's just in my opinion.
It's like you drugged me, you electrocuted me, you smashed my head against the cage.
I don't know how many.
Can I lick your hand, please? I'm like,
I don't know how many times I've yelled at Lady Bird, but man, every day she's awesome.
Brandon is up. Brandon, welcome to the show. How are you?
Oh, we were having a conversation about Bill Cosby for a minute. We talked about putting people in cages and quaaludes, and I was sitting here thinking how I could have cut up all that audio, and it would be a Talent Heat and Air commercial by the time I got done with it.
It's about
real greasy after that.
That would be about right.
Oh, it was. Yeah, I could cut that up, and people would be like, "What?" It'd be fantastic.
Not my finest 3 minutes of radio. Yeah.
Well, I guess I can do Dale Jarrett, Terry Labonte, and Kyle Petty if we're picking drivers.
Yeah, there you go.
Can't believe you didn't pick Rusty.
Yeah.
Not going to take Rusty Wallace? You don't like Rusty Wallace this week?
Nah, not this week. No,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Awesome Bill from Dawsonville.
That was the point.
Dick
We had people in the family. You were black Chevrolet guys or you were blue Ford guys
Yeah.
growing up. There was no distinction between the two.
Dick Trickle.
You had to be
Dick
one or
Trickle.
the other. After listening to more of the whole Eli story, I've kind of come around to the school of thought that he should have taken the deal. And I was one of the people that was furious, pissed off. But he should have taken the deal and took what they gave him because they were going to make the move. You either get on board with it and take it as best you can, but he
celebrated. He would have been
coming.
like the king of the bride, and they would have let him do the pregame till he died. You know what I mean? They would have let him do that and be the guy, and he would sit out there on the quad, and all the people would come and get their autograph from Eli Gold, get a picture made with Eli Gold, and be Eli Gold. He could have been. This is on him. Just saying.
Well, everybody doesn't do what Bob Shepard for the Yankees did. He was behind the microphone, till like a year before he died when he was like 98 years old?
Yeah.
Is that right?
No, I don't think he was 98. Chris, check out how old was Bob Shepard when he died. I don't know when he quit doing it. I know that Derek Jeter had the recording of Bob Shepard introducing him.
Yeah.
It was one of the coolest things ever. I mean, long after Bob Shepard had died, Derek Jeter, right until the end of his career, it was always Bob Shepard
99
introducing him. He was 99. Now, when did he quit doing PA at the Yankees? Anyway, go ahead.
I was thinking it was like 08, wasn't it? And then he died in 2010?
Yeah. Was he still doing it in his 90s? Maybe.
I think he was still doing something in some capacity for the Yankees. And I was saying, if that's the route you got to go, then go that route because it still pays right up to the end. And this whole NCAA thing, doing this all wrong. This game has not been out, we said, 13 years, 11 years?
11 years, yeah.
Okay. You do a commemorative box where the people that have opted in, you order a box, and it comes with your player that you picked, something autographed from them, and a box with your name on it, the game possibly autographed. All that stuff is upsell stuff on top of the game that you're also splitting that money with the players too. and it's kind of like a little NIL box, and it comes to you, and you open it up, and you've got this whole nice little setup that is all yours. They totally missed the boat on upselling that.
They're going to gross over $100 million on this game, and they're giving the kids $6 million. I got a problem with that. I got a problem with that.
I'm just saying, imagine you take a box and the player gets $60 off every one that shows up. Jalen Milroe gets $60 for an autograph and all that stuff that comes in the commemorative box. I mean, instead of making $100 million, you might make $200 million. It's just too easy. Lazy people not doing good marketing.
And Milroe is one of the guys, by the way, that has, signed up already for it. 5,000 players signed up on day one.
I mean, I don't know if they'd played their cards right if you couldn't have ordered your game and got whatever player you wanted's face custom on the cover of the game that you're getting. That way it's not just one person's face on all of them. You can get whoever. I mean, you'd have to be crazy not to have all the kids that's in your fan base wanting that.
Jackson Dart, Donovan Edwards, Quinn Ewers, Will Johnson, Quinshon Junkins, Jalen Milroe, Malachi Moore, Nick Singleton are among the players that are in it. Media personalities that are confirmed that they are in the game: Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, Desmond Howard, Reese Davis, David Pollock, Kevin Connors, and Jesse Palmer. Do you think that they're giving Chris Fowler $600? I bet they're not giving him $600.
Negative.
But here's the thing. Thanks for the call, Brandon. That's a good job by you. Here's the thing. What's the kid going to do? Because you know what? If Jalen Milroe said, no, I'm not, what? They're just going to have a player that you can give number 4 to, Alabama, that they don't have the name on a jersey anyway. They really, if the player doesn't opt in, they're just going to fill them in with players. You know what I mean?
And it won't be generated names. It'll be, like you said, it'll be a position and a number.
Just
like
a position and a number.
Yeah.
I want my quarterback to be, I don't know, number 4 for Alabama. And he's African-American, and he's about 6'4", weighs about 225. That's my quarterback. So the players really, I mean, on one hand, they're jipping him. On the other hand, I think it's different in the NFL. I think in the NFL, I think if you want to play with Tom Brady, you need to play with Tom Brady. Grumpy is next. Grumpy, welcome to the show. How are you?
Pretty good. LSU Lynch, he said maybe less interviews, and I think it's nice to have a caller day like this, too. I'd like to jump on his train, you know what I'm saying?
So you think we should do like a open line Friday type of deal where you guys just whatever you want to talk about, just boom,
or maybe just an open line hour that is the same hour every Friday, and that way you could plan your day if you want to call in. You're not, you know what I mean? Just like maybe the last hour on Friday is just callers or something.
We did that all year with the first hour on Monday, and I'm going to continue to do that. So the first hour on Monday, there'll never be a guest in the first. That's Reaction Monday, so you guys get that first hour to react to anything over. Like next Monday, Tom Luganville is going to join us at 1 o'clock to talk about the new signing day and what makes sense and all that crap. So it'll always be that way. But we should do the same thing on Friday.
Privet from Parts Unknown, I think he was the best call so far this week, man. I liked his attitude where he was just like, drank a drink in honor of Eli. And that guy, Marcus Aurelius, I think he's a philosopher. The favorite thing he said that I liked was, you have a right to have no opinion.
Yeah.
And I think if a lot of people exercise that right, their life would be better, and the people around them wouldn't be as irritated with them as they are.
You know what I'm saying? If you have an opinion that is not a real opinion, that's where you get a hot take. That's what those hot takes are. They just make up an opinion. If you don't have an opinion, it's okay not to have an opinion about something, not care about it one way or the other.
Yeah. And then like Johnny on a cell called in, and he was saying, what are these people going to do when Alabama wins 12 games this year? And it's his tears that I like to bathe in when Missouri goes to Tuscaloosa next year and whips Alabama's ass.
Ouch. All right, so Johnny on a cell, you have been called out.
It's coming. It's coming, Johnny. It is.
They lost a lot. You better say Georgia. Don't say Missouri, because Missouri lost a lot. Georgia didn't lose a lot. Missouri lost a lot off of their team. Missouri's not going to be nowhere near as good next year as they were this year.
Alabama lost more in their program than Missouri did.
Not talent-wise, maybe coaching talent.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did. How much is Saban worth? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And hey, listen, well, it's coming, but I thought we were doing a NASCAR fecta that was going to last a long time. I'm kind of with Natty Danny there. And
really?
then listen, if you do put something together, I don't honestly. The basketball games are fine and everything, but it'd be nice to pick a sport and kind of run with it. And Talladega tickets are cheap. You could get a fistful of those and give them out, man, at the end of the year or something.
Well, I get Talladega tickets. They give them to me. Usually we give away tickets to a Talladega race, but I do it for Dega, and I do it for Daytona, and I do it for the summer race at Daytona. But yeah, maybe we should do it. Maybe we should do the race fecta every week.
I don't know. I get it. It's going to be hard to stay away from Super March. What do they call it? March Madness. It'd be hard to stay away from that.
March Madness, and we do the Madness fecta. And we got things to do. The bigger question is going to be is what are we going to do with the UFL? This is the third year now of the UFL, starting at Birmingham Stallions going for a three-peat. This is a thing. And Birmingham and Arlington playing that first game of the season, the two champions from last year from the two different leagues, and you got the USFL division and the XFL division of the UFL. So, I mean, it has a chance to be interesting. I think it has a chance to be kind of interesting.
Yeah, and hey, the guys with the vans, McCleary, the van rental over there on Max Luther, what's their name again? They sponsor?
Yeah, McCurry.
Get with them, man, and let's get a bus together like we did the Preds. And take some listeners to the Birmingham game, man.
That's a good idea. Let's go to the football game. I like it.
Thanks, man.
See you. All right, let's get a break. We'll come back, and first hour of Open Line Friday went really good. We'll see how hour number 2 goes. It's Tom Abraham Show, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hello, sports fans! The Alabama State Senate will soon decide if you get the right to vote on a lottery, casinos, and sports betting. But they need to hear from you. Did you know Alabama is one of only 12 states where you can't legally bet on sports? House Bill 151 allows you to choose whether you can place a bet on the big game this weekend. Call your state senator today and tell them to vote yes on the lottery and gaming bill. For more information, go to sportsbettingalliance.org. Paid for by Sports Betting Alliance. sportsbettingalliance.org.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold-certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Cheeseburger Bobby's has a great new way to feed the family with 2 $30 family packs. The first is the Tenders Family Meal, 20 delicious chicken tenders, fries, and a gallon of tea. The second is 4 cheeseburgers, fries, and a gallon of tea. Your choice, just $30 each. These specials are good for carryout and online orders only. Log on to cheeseburgerbobbies.com to order. And don't forget frozen custard for dessert. Cheeseburger Bobby's, 2785 Carl T. Jones Drive, Huntsville, and at cheeseburgerbobbies.com.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. If you've been injured and need a lawyer right now, do you know who you really get?
I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. You want to talk to your lawyer. My clients talk to me.
And me. I'm attorney Justin Lackey. We're the ones that you talk to.
And we're the ones who handle your personal injury case.
And we'll take care of it.
The Lackey Law Firm. 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
The state's largest orthopedic group
group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Football is a rough game and often a cruel one.
Every time you lose, you die a little bit. You die inside, a portion of you. Not all of your organs, maybe just your liver.
Pain is inevitable.
They're killing me, Whitey. They're killing me.
There was only the painful face of failure.
Okay, fellas? Hey, fellas, this is what you work all off season for. This is why you lift all them weights. This is why you do all that.
There was a fighting heart under the ribs of defeat.
Never give up, baby. Never give up.
Skip it back to the end of the hour break, and then we're going to get things going again with a wide open hour number 2. And Christy from YouTube, who is on hold, so I'm interested in talking to her. She'll be first up in the second hour of the show, so we'll get into that. Got a number of other things to get into as well. Plus, there is a private spaceship sitting on the moon right now. Grizz is one of these, space freaks, so he knows about it, I bet. And I don't know how I feel about this. It's a private spaceship. It's not, but I think NASA has something to do with it. But there's a spaceship sitting on the moon right now, unmanned. Spaceship sitting on first time since 1972, when we left the moon for the last time after Apollo 17. We might get into that. You never know. You know why? Because it's just an open line Friday. That's all. It's your show today. All right, we'll be back. Thom Abraham Show, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
Good morning, I'm Doug Brown. The NBA is back from the All-Star break. The Mavericks beat the Suns 123-113. Luka Doncic with 41 points, 9 rebounds, and 11 assists. That's 7 straight wins for Dallas. They share the longest active winning streak with the Celtics, who beat the Bulls 129-112, 28 for Derek White. Kyle Lowry makes his debut with the 76ers in a 110-96 loss to the Knicks. Lowry had 11 points, 5 assists, and 6 stitches after taking an elbow to the forehead from New York's Jericho Sims. College basketball in the Pac-12, number 21 Washington State beats 4th-ranked Arizona in Tucson 77-74. Jalen Wells with 27 to lead the way for the Cougars.
From the ESPN.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
March Madness begins in the Rocket City as the Conference USA Men's and Women's Basketball Championships come to the Von Braun Center March 12th through the 16th as 9 teams look to punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament. Lock in your seat for all the tournament action now and get the best seats available to be right on top of the action. And thanks to our friends at Dave & Buster's and Main Event, we have Power Passes available in 4-pack single session tickets available now that include $60 in savings. For more information, visit VonBraunCenter.com or visit the VBC box office.
No payments for 90 days on 23 and 24 models. financing as low as 0%, and the best deals of the year on America's best-selling truck for 47 years in a row. Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and I'm here to tell you it's Truck Month, the time of the year to get the best deals on F-150, Explorer, Bronco, Edge, Bronco Sport, and Escape. During Truck Month, get financing as low as 1.9% for up to 72 months on 2023 F-150 Crew Cabs, and lease payments as low as $375 a month. That's a 36-month lease with $62.82 due at signing, 0 security deposit, just tax tag title, and your good credit. Offer ends 2/29/24. Call 539-9441 for complete details. At Woody Anderson Ford, we have over 40 Bronco Sports and nearly 50 Explorers and about a dozen full-size Broncos, all with great sales incentives and no payment for 90 days. Truck Month only happens once a year. Woody Anderson Ford, hope to see you soon.
Hello, sports fans! The Alabama State Senate will soon decide if you get the right to vote on a lottery, casinos, and sports betting. But they need to hear from you. Did you know Alabama is one of only 12 states where you can't legally bet on sports? House Bill 151 allows you to choose whether you can place a bet on the big game this weekend. Call your state senator today and tell them to vote yes on the lottery and gaming bill. For more information, go to sportsbettingalliance.org. Paid for by Sports Betting Alliance. sportsbettingalliance.org.
I wish I could get this stupid jar open.
Jars can be tough, am I right?
Who are you? And how'd you get in my kitchen?
It's me, Flo, and I'm here to grant your wish of easily switching to Progressive and helping you get a discount that honors the time spent with your previous insurer.
Great, but what does that have to do with getting this jar open?
Nothing.
So you can't open this?
Oh, I just do insurance. Jars, I leave to the professionals.
Sign up for Progressive and opt into more savings. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the lower 60s. Some of us may only climb into the upper 50s. That's still seasonal for this time of year. We're dropping into the low 40s as we head into the overnight early into your Saturday morning. Mostly sunny sky on Saturday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid-50s. Dropping into the low and mid-30s through the overnight early Sunday morning. Sunday's going to be beautiful across the Tennessee Valley. We're talking about plenty of sunshine. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid-60s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio.
Everything you need is just a click away.
I screw up sometimes, silly.
Okay, almost everything.
Come on, pal. Tell your fortune.
Log on today. 977ESPN.com. 977 ESPN, The Zone.
The opinions of Thom Abraham are not necessarily the opinions of the radio station or anybody associated with the radio station or ownership. These are strictly his own opinions, and sometimes they're not even his opinions.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live. Here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby!
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like Elle McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond? Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
And welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Thom Abraham Show. This segment brought to you by the service team at Woody Anderson Ford. Not only experts in the service of Ford and other makes, but they also use genuine Ford and Motorcraft parts on every Ford service job. Don't forget they do tire rotations down there, wheel alignments, brake jobs. They do oil changes. They do engine tune-up. They even do tranny work at the service department in the Quick Lane Tire and Auto Center. They got you covered at Woody Anderson Ford. Go to WoodyAndersonFord.com and check out the Certified Gold Pre-Owned as well as the new inventory as well. It's Woody Anderson Ford, the only place I've gone to for the last 20 years in the Tennessee Valley. All right, we're going open line Friday here. 256-576-4977. Text window is open as well. 732-982-7469. That will get you in. Badger Larry says that Natty Danny's right. Should have a trifecta every Friday, no matter what. Just pick 3 things and put it in a trifecta.
I feel like they haven't had a pick 2 in a while, like the drive, too. Like, I just feel like we've been leaving them out,
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to help these peeps out here.
I don't know. That's, it's a cheap imitation. So
a cheap imitation, whatever that's called.
That's all it is.
It's a pick 2, but there's 3. It's like yours. There's a trifecta, but there's 4.
They couldn't have a trifecta. I mean, a trifecta was introduced to the market 20 years ago. You know what I mean?
Well, you got trifecta, and a lot of times it's like trifecta plus 1 more.
Always.
Yeah.
It's almost always with a tiebreaker. Sometimes it's got 5 things, 6 things. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's just the Tuesday top 10. Doesn't have to have 10 things. Doesn't have to be on a Tuesday. It just sounds good to say Tuesday top 10. That's the way it is. All right. Let's go to the line. Christy from YouTube. That's a good handle for Christy. Christy from YouTube, welcome to the show. How are you?
I like that handle. That is good. I kind of already have a handle, though. LSU Lynch gave me Cowgirl.
What do you get? Cowgirl?
Mm-hmm.
As in like a cowboy, but a cowgirl?
Yeah, because I like the Cowboys.
Okay, so you're a cow, not because you're a horsewoman, but because you are a cowboy fan. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. And I wanted to call.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. So what's up?
Well, I wanted to say congratulations on your coming 20 years anniversary for the Tom Abraham Show.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. I just moved to Huntsville, Alabama from Louisville, Kentucky.
Really?
So,
how long ago?
In July or August or something like that last year.
Oh, wow.
I started listening because I noticed that Huntsville's really big on Roll Tide, and I didn't know what that meant.
You didn't know? Whoa. You didn't know what Roll Tide meant?
No.
Oh, my gosh.
So I'm getting my education listening to you guys.
Now, does anybody ever leave you a message and then drop a little RTR at the end of it? That's a Roll Tide roll.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm on the RTR boat. And then sometimes I'll even do a little elephant emoji.
So are you a Louisville fan? Are you a Cardinal fan? What's the deal there?
I am more of Louisville because we've got ties with Louisville.
Yeah, and it is Louisville. It's not Louisville.
But I don't like Rick Pitino.
You don't like Rick? He's gone. He's been gone for a while now.
I know he's gone, but I'm just saying I don't associate with him.
I hear you. Yeah. Louisville's a good
No,
town.
I wanted to ask you, Tom, you said you gave your baby some CBD, but I was just wondering, after you hit the baby one time in the head, but did your CBD wear in when you hit the baby in the head 2 times?
No,
boom.
I was wondering, it's my wife picks her head up off the bed. She goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm trying to put the dog in the crate." She goes, "The door is closed." I'm like smashing her head against the crate and everything. I'm like, oh gosh. Is that why it's happening? I mean, it was all. I felt so bad for her, but yet she woke up in the morning, wanted to lick my hand. Yeah, she don't care. I mean, that's the way they are. I don't think it's CBD that I'm giving the dog. It's called Calm, is what it's called. It's called Calm. I don't know what it is. I don't know what would be worse, CBD oil or Quaaludes, baby Quaaludes, or whatever it is. Dog. We're talking about a dog. Those of you just jumping into the show. We're not giving a child CBD oil.
I'm a dog mom, so it's just I feel like dogs are kids.
Dog Ritalin, what it is.
I was wondering, because I'm hearing a lot of talk about the name, image, and likeness contracts that are going out.
Right.
But do we know anything else about the terms of that contract? I know it's selling for $600 if they want to sell.
Yeah, they get $600, and there's a potential that they can make more money down there. They're not using the term royalties, but there's some gray areas because you know how it is at the video games. What if you're playing a guy after he's in the pros, but you want to play that guy in college? Should he continue to get some sort of money? I mean, it's a one-time $600 check that they get for it. And by the way, in the game, they have a transfer portal and NIL. It's part of the game where you can
it's pretty crazy.
I mean, it's too nuts. I mean, it's you can have NIL deals for players and transfer portal for players, and you can move teams from conference to conference because we know that's going to change all the time.
Yeah, I mean, that would only make sense. They would have some kind of quote unquote royalties or something. I just
You would think. You would think.
Yeah.
And it does say, I don't know how they're going to do this. It says that if a player chooses to not be included in the game, he will not be able to be created in the game by users. Although Holt said he won't say how they're going to prevent that, only that it will not be allowed. So I don't know how do you.
Yeah, I don't
do
know how you
that?
prevent that.
So you can't have a guy. So in other words, if number 4 for Alabama decides that he doesn't want to be in the game, you cannot have a number 4 for Alabama. Maybe
probably
you can't have a black quarterback that's 6'4" and runs like the wind. I don't know. Just throw it out there. All right, cowgirl from YouTube. There, we'll combine the two. For the cowgirl from YouTube. All right, appreciate you. That's good. We were down a chick in terms of listenership or calling in, I should say. We were down because we had. Remember, we had. What was the girl that called all the time for NASCAR? She's a big NASCAR fan. She was a big Jimmy Johnson fan. And I think I don't know if she quit NASCAR after that. I don't know where she went. We've had from time to time we'll have, no, Wolverine Ginger doesn't count. She's the wife of Wolverine Dan. And so she just gets on there when Wolverine Dan calls and then he hands her the phone. The cowgirl from YouTube might be the only true blue chick caller we got right now. Kramer is up. Kramer, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, Big Dog. How about yourself?
I am fantastic.
Hey, a lady calling in talking about the Cowboys, that's got to perk up the ears of Philip a little bit. I mean, I know he hasn't called him and he's had some health issues, but, man, that's got to get him back on track.
You would think that would get Philip fired up.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Hey, long-distance romance from Virginia, from the Cowboy fan in Virginia. How about them Cowboys? Yeah.
Hey, so, you hitting your dog on the cage, is that a metaphor? I mean, did you really hit your dog's head in the cage, or are we talking about something else in the bedroom, a little dog after dark in action?
No, that was actually the little dog. The little dog actually was getting its head against the cage. It was, yeah.
Also, for the NCAA college football game, are they going to use Eli Gold's voice for Alabama commentary? And do announcers get royalties?
Well, the announcers, they announced the announcers. I don't know if they've got, that's a great question. Will they have local announcers as well, radio type announcers, or will they just be, the big time announcers? Because Kirk Herbstreit and Ryan Fowler are in, but Kirk Herbstreit and Ryan Fowler, they're not doing this for nothing. I mean, you got to believe that Kirk Herbstreit and Ryan Fowler are getting paid well.
You give me Chris Stewart for Bama
Desmond
games.
Howard, Reese Davis here's the question: if Reese Davis and Desmond Howard are in there, when are we going to hear that Nick Saban and Pat McAfee are in there to complete the table?
Yeah. When it's called Saban 25.
Saban 25.
26. Saban 26.
And how did David Pollock get a gig on there? I mean, David Pollock's been fired. He got no gig. Now he's going to be on the.
He's a voice actor now.
Oh yeah.
Hey, the trifectas, I'm okay with taking a break after the football season. We had a couple big trifectas there. I'm okay with taking a break. I mean, it's okay. Makes it a little bit special. But I have an idea for a contest. You could always have give away some food to the listeners who tag you guys on social media with the most sponsors. If you go to Bubby's, you go to any of your sponsors, tag you on social media.
Yeah,
tag and keep track of that over the week, and then at the end of the week, you got a listener who gets some chow.
That's not a bad idea. That's good stuff right there from Kramer to put that in the suggestion box. Yeah.
Yep. Hey, and I got one other thing. Arena football is coming up, and I don't know where they get their officials from or what officials are working those. I know the USFL, they use top tier, I think D1 college officials. Officials that are basically on track for the NFL. I'm assuming arena football maybe to a lesser degree, but it'd be nice if to know what level and what kind of training they need for arena football. I'm sure, if you're paying for a product, you want to have good officials, but it'd be neat to get into something like that.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting because in the heyday of the AFL, there was no spring ball, spring league. So you had some names that were recognizable. You'd be like, wait a minute, I remember that guy. You remember we used to have some guys that were, SEC guys and things like that. But the UFL is now going to soak up, 8 times 50. What is that? 400. They're gonna soak up 400 of the best players that don't have to go play arena football. They can play actual field football in the UFL. Now the UFL, not only are those guys on pace, they're actually using officials that are in the NFL developmental pool. So those officials are officials that are being looked at, specifically for the NFL, which is really good. The Arena League used to do that, but it's going to be very interesting to see because there are other arena leagues now. Just because this league is the AFL doesn't necessarily mean that it will be of the quality that the old AFL was. We'll have to wait and see because there's the other indoor. The IFL has been very well established, and there's some of these other indoor leagues that are floating around out there.
Yeah, and speaking of NFL officials, there's a camp, an officials camp a football officials camp down in Birmingham. I think it's in May. It's founded by Anthony Jeffries, who's tightly integrated with the AHSAA, and he was an Super Bowl alternate this year, and he has some guys come in down there that have another Super Bowl official from this year was down there last year, and there's some really good camp counselors and people like that come down there in contact. So if there's anybody out there serious about officiating, that's within an hour and a half away down in Birmingham. And the early bird pricing ends next week, I believe, for it. So it was a good time last year, and there's some really big names that come down there. So, it's maybe something of interest to some of the listeners. I plan to sign up and go.
Sounds good, man. Where is it at? Where can people get information about that?
Just, I guess, Google Ref Academy and Anthony Jeffries. They're on, I don't think they have a Facebook page, but they do have a website at refacademyllc.com, I believe it is. Right. But yeah, that's pretty exciting. So I'm looking forward to it. I mean, football year round.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
All right. Have a good one, big dog.
Nothing wrong with football year round. I've got in the studio here, I have got the opening tournament of the Bassmaster Elite season on here, and they're fishing at Toledo Bend. The leader, I always get, on Bassmaster Radio, we always have first, second, and third from each elite event. We are not going to have that this week. I can tell you that right now because the guy that's leading this tournament and it's going to win it is Koya Fujita.
Oh,
he's got a big
that
lead.
would be amazing. I would love to hear it.
Yeah, it would be, except for he can't speak a lick of English.
That's fine. Would be great.
Just do it in Japanese?
Yeah, it would be great. Either in Japanese or have a translator with you.
We're going to have a Japanese fisherman win this event, and I'm not going to be able to put him on the air. There are 3 or 4 Japanese. It's big. Bass fishing is big in Japan, and there are 3 or 4 really good Japanese professional anglers, 2 of which I can put on the air and 2 of which are just you wouldn't be able to understand the thing he's saying. But they're very, very good with their electronics, as you might be able to assume. And they have this particular individual, Koya Fujita. He has 6 graphs on his boat.
Oh,
These
man.
things are
Grumpy is just
$3,000
mad.
a piece.
Grumpy's just punching his steering wheel right now.
He's got 3 in the cockpit area, and then he has 3 at the bow, and one of the 3 at the bow is a 16-inch monitor. It's like a TV.
He's got it on the bottom of his boat where it's it shows the bottom of that.
I mean, it's unreal.
I saw it.
Forward-facing, side-facing, rear-facing. He's got, it's too much.
I saw a great
$3,000 a piece.
I saw a great photo. It was the Gunnersville fishing group or whatever around here on Facebook. And it was the future of fishing. And it was a dude with futuristic armor on in a kayak with all the little bells and whistles that fishermen have now.
That's out of control. I have 3 on my boat. And I'm I thought I was,
too much. Yeah.
Nothing. I mean, it's nothing. Most of these guys have 2 or 3 on the bow and then 2 at the cockpit. I mean, I split my one at the cockpit. It has the mapping on one side and the sonar or the side imaging on the other.
Yeah.
And I can see fine. I mean, it's a 12-inch unit, and I can see everything I need to see. I don't need to have one totally dedicated to the mapping and one totally dedicated to sonar.
So you got 2 on your steering wheel and you got 1 in the front, right?
I have 2 on the bow.
Oh, okay.
and I have one in the cockpit.
Okay.
One in the cockpit I use for side imaging. Or down scanning if I'm like just kind of checking something. But mostly I use it for mapping, for when I'm running.
Right.
It's got my GPS on it. And then 2 on the bow. One has a 360 in it, and the other one has down imaging and side imaging. And I use that one mostly with down imaging and mapping. Again, I'll split it. They're all splittable. You don't have to have a different unit for every. It's just it's so excessive. I mean, $18,000 worth of electronics on a boat. It's nuts. All right, can I make one comment here? I know it's Open Phone Friday, but I want to throw one more log on a fire here, and then we'll get back to the lines. Bama Bread, swing back through. We'll get you in here. 256-576-4977. With Alabama's coaching staff being completed now, I have been very, very positive about everything that Kalen DeBoer has done. I am one of these. I am not the sky is falling guy. I am always the positive guy that, let's wait and see how it goes and blah, 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 and everything else. Now, and everybody felt much better when it was going to be Ryan Grubb and Scott Huff, and, as the offensive coordinator and the offensive line coach. And, Ryan Grubb has been the offensive coordinator for wherever Kalen DeBoer has been. And so he goes to the Seattle Seahawks, and now Nick Sheridan is going to be the offensive coordinator. But I do need to say one thing. And it's going to come off as negative, but this is bothersome to me. Now, again, for those of you just joining the show or don't know any better, if you're the cowgirl from YouTube or whatever, I coached for 11 years. So I've been around a minute in terms of, being in a staff room and knowing how things work in a staff room. This staff that Kalen DeBoer has put together, offensive coordinator Nick Sheridan, co-offensive coordinator Jamarcus Shepard, and then of course there's Kalen DeBoer himself. It's his offense. All right, so we've kind of gotten used to that co-offensive coordinator thing. It's unnecessary. I don't understand it. You either got an offensive coordinator or you don't. Why is the guy a co-offensive coordinator? Is it because it's an increase for money that you can get him away from another place? If that's the case, okay, fine. That's why they call the running back coach the assistant head coach.
Yeah,
Robert Gillespie. Right, that gives him an elevated status as assistant head coach. Tight end coach is Brian Ellis. Offensive line coach is Chris Kapilovic, who is the oldest coach on the staff at 55 years old, by the way. Everybody else on this staff is either in their 40s or in their 30s. Really, there's a lot of young guys. But you go to the defensive staff. Kane Womack is your defensive coordinator. He's also going to coach the inside backers. Usually DCs will take care of either inside linebacker, because that's the guy you're communicating with to call a defense, or defensive backs. Because as we all know, if you make a mistake on the D-line, you give up, 6 inches. If you make a mistake on the linebacker level, you give up 6 yards. If you make a mistake in the defensive backfield, you give up 6 points. So a lot of times the DC will take care of the defensive backs as well. But in this case, he'll be the linebacker coach, Kane Womack. Defensive line associate head coach is Freddie Roach. So now we got an associate head coach and an assistant head coach. He's a D-line coach. He's Freddie Roach.
Yeah.
Outstanding recruiter, Alabama guy, Freddie Roach. Christian Robinson is the outside linebackers coach. Now you got Colin Hitchler. Colin Hitchler is the defensive backs / co-defensive coordinator.
Huh?
And the other defensive back coach, Maurice Linguist, is the defensive backs. I assume one is doing safeties and one is doing corners. This is a different job.
Yeah.
I don't know that, the guy that they're both doing safeties and corners. Anyway, his job is defensive backs, co-defensive coordinator, Maurice Linguist. They have 3 they got a defensive coordinator and 2 co-defensive coordinators. Basically everybody on the defense, except for Freddie Roach, who's the associate head coach, gets to be a coordinator. I mean, enough already. You got 3 coordinators on defense? Kane Womack is the defensive coordinator with his co-defensive coordinators, Colin Hitchler and Maurice Linguist? Stop. One's a safeties coach and one's a cornerback coach. Why are we calling all of these people coordinators? They got 5 coordinators on this team. You know what they don't have? A special teams coordinator. A special teams coordinator. They got 10 coaches that are allowed on the sideline during a game. who's going to handle the special teams is Jay Nunez. Jay Nunez, they have no special teams coordinator, but Jay Nunez, he was a senior special teams analyst at Oklahoma for the last 2 years. A senior special teams analyst. What? The guy that cut up the specs tape? So he is going to be the de facto special teams coordinator. He's not a field coach. He can coach on the field during practice, but he's not a field coach. And what will happen is that on game day, the different special team units will be designated to different coaches on game day. Nunez will be responsible for overseeing all special teams in practice and formulating the game plans. But as an analyst, he won't be able to coach on game day. So we got to have 3 defensive coordinators, but we don't have a special teams coordinator. One guy. Let me tell you something. I hate when they do this with multiple guys. I hate when they do this. DeBoer will delegate certain aspects of special teams to other assistants to carry out during the game. So this guy's responsible for the kickoff and the linebackers. And this guy's responsible for punt and the safeties. And this guy's responsible for kickoff return. And you got to have one guy, a special teams coordinator, and that dude should be on the sideline. That dude needs to be getting everybody together for punt. That dude needs to get everybody together for kickoff and for kickoff return. And if somebody is out, he knows which guy to replace. He's the special teams coordinator. It's a third of the game. There's never more yardage available than on special teams. There are no other plays that are always 50-yard, 60-yard plays than on special teams. Now, I get that we've completely neutered kickoff and kickoff return, but field goal, extra point, punt return. And let me tell you something. If anybody would decide to bring back a kickoff return, you might be able to do something special. Because those people that are going down on kickoff are just jogging down there because they don't anticipate any kind of a return. And you can lull them to sleep. And if you ran a little counter return or something, you might do something. You might be taking over at the 40 to 50, or you might score. So 2 issues. 1, no special teams coordinator on game day. Somebody else who's thinking about the line. Oh, hell, that's right. I got to get the punt team together. And all these co-coordinators. What does that mean? What does a co-coordinator mean? Listen, I was never a co-defensive coordinator. We had a defensive coordinator. I coached inside linebackers, and then later on in my career, I coached outside linebackers. I was a special teams coordinator, and I coached the outside linebackers. I worked very closely with our defensive coordinator. I would help him with, things that I saw and everything, but he was the defensive coordinator. He didn't have to call me a co-coordinator. The safeties coach and the cornerback coach, the linebackers, everybody's going to have input, but they're not all co-coordinators. How do you have a co-coordinator? Think about the word coordinator. Coordinator is a singular thing. You're the guy that coordinates everything. I got 3 guys coordinating the other 2? Just pet peeve. All right, phone lines are open. That's my call. First time, long time. I just called the Thom Abraham Show with that take. Rick! 256-576-4977. That will get you into the show. Back with more after this. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The new favorite place for delicious Mexican food is Coralejos Mexican Grill in Huntsville. Check out their reviews on Facebook and you'll see what people are raving about. Enjoy drink specials all day Monday through Thursday, like house margaritas for $3.99 and 12-ounce drafts for $2. Even vegan-friendly entrees on Monday starting at 5. Coralejos Mexican Grill, 1658 Old Monrovia Road in Huntsville. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram to stay updated on their specials.
Hello, sports fans! The Alabama State Senate will soon decide if you get the right to vote on a lottery, casinos, and sports betting. But they need to hear from you. Did you know Alabama is one of only 12 states where you can't legally bet on sports? House Bill 151 allows you to choose whether you can place a bet on the big game this weekend. Call your state senator today and tell them to vote yes on the lottery and gaming bill. For more information, go to sportsbettingalliance.org. Paid for by Sports Betting Alliance. sportsbettingalliance.org.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
March Madness begins in the Rocket City as the Conference USA Men's and Women's Basketball Championships come to the Von Braun Center March 12th through the 16th as 9 teams look to punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament. Lock in your seat for all the tournament action now and get the best seats available to be right on top of the action. And thanks to our friends at Dave & Buster's and Main Event, we have Power Passes available and 4-pack single session tickets available now that include $60 in savings. For more information, visit VonBraunCenter.com or visit the VBC box office.
What's better than 2 end-zone sports bars?
3 end-zone sports bars.
And we have you covered with our original location on University across from Red Lobster, in Jones Valley on Cecil Ashburn near Carl T. Jones, and our newest location in the Midtown District, on McMurtry Drive opposite the Target Plaza. All locations feature the NFL Sunday Ticket, Tuesday half-price burgers, and Wednesday $1 jumbo wings all day long. You're never far from the end zone. End Zone Sports Bar.
Thom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at GenSuperstore.com.
The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Listen weekday afternoons starting at 5 on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
It's perfect!
The Tom Abraham Show is brought to you by my good friend Brian Hamaker and the crew at North Alabama Mortgage. You know, Brian's a very good fisherman himself and is a big supporter of Bassmaster Radio, and he sponsors Trey Swindle's boat as well on the Bassmaster Opens. I wonder if he's having as hard of a time watching this stuff as I am, where it's just all offshore, forward-facing sonar, guy leaning against a seat, dropping a Demiki rig over the side of the boat and just jigging it over the top of fish that they're seeing on their forward-facing sonar. I'll be honest with you, it's a tough watch. I'm just being brutally honest. I mean, I know how important the TV is to us with the professional bass fishing, but it makes for a tough watch. I'm watching this kid, Robert Gee. He doesn't even have his lure in the water. He's just searching around with his forward facing. He's just searching around, and then when he sees something, he'll go ahead and throw this little minnow bait out at it. If somebody doesn't break out a buzz bait or a topwater here pretty soon, and bring it through some grass, I'm gonna throw something at the TV. Anyway, having said that, Brian Hammaker and his crew, they'll let you know how, if you're in Alabama, Tennessee, or Florida, they'll let you know how they can help you out with a new mortgage, a refinance, because your average home equity is at an all-time high. You can use that money that's stuck in your house right now to pay off all the really high interest rate stuff you have. Rates are coming down. They're going to continue to come down. You refi again when they bottom out. All right? So if you're thinking about a new home purchase, as those rates come down, the home prices go up. It's just always going to be that way. So right now, get the best deal you can get, and then refi when the rates get all the way down. Go to NorthAlabamaMortgage.com and learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com. All right, Grizz, there's a lunar lander on the moon right now. Something called Odysseus. How do they say it? Odysseus, maybe Odysseus.
I just had it up. What did I do with it?
It's private. It's out of a company called Intuitive Machines in Houston, of course. Not from here. It landed near the South Pole last night. It was touch and go for a moment. First time since 1972 we've soft-landed anything on the moon. I don't know. It says no private spacecraft has ever soft-landed on the moon. I don't know what that means.
It's Odysseus, by the way.
Things. We've hammered a few things. Odysseus, that's how you
Odysseus,
say it?
yeah.
Odysseus?
Yeah, you know Odysseus from the Iliad?
Oh, the Iliad. No, that's the Iliad and the Odyssey.
Yeah.
But the Odyssey is Odysseus?
It was Odysseus, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you're smart.
Or was it Ulysses? I can't remember. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, this thing is on the... They said this feat is a giant leap forward for all of humanity. Stay tuned. No, don't be saying stuff like that. This is not 1969.
Big forward leap.
No, one small leap for
whatever
man,
it was.
One giant leap for mankind. No, this isn't that. This is not a giant leap forward for all of humanity. The pictures that they're sending back, the thing. Remember, everybody thought that it was a scam. You know, when they landed on the moon in the 60s, a lot of people thought it was a scam. It was filmed in Arizona somewhere because it didn't look real, because it looks like it's got like tin foil around all the equipment. But the pictures that they're sending back from this thing, this Odysseus thing or whatever it is, it's the same thing. It's all like, it looks like it's all like wrapped in foil. Anyway, this is apparently maybe part of this this deal that's going to be coming with NASA is going to NASA is going to go back to the moon. Yeah, the Bahamas are going to the moon. We're going to send the Bahamas to the moon. NASA is talking about going back. What is it? Artemis, I think is the program. We're going to actually put a space station on the surface of the moon. And apparently they've
talking about that.
What?
I said we've been talking about that for a long time, I feel like, right?
Oh, we have been, but they're working on it. Artemis, is that what it's called? Artemis?
I think
it's called. I think it's Artemis. Anyway, it's going to be going, Artemis. They're going to establish a long-term sustainable human presence on and around the moon by the end of the 2020s and use this knowledge to help astronauts get to Mars by the late 30s and early 40s. Yeah, that's the plan.
Always talking about Mars, and we can't even get on the moon.
Got to get to Mars.
Got to get to the moon first. That's the thing. It's like you've been there 50 years. So.
Yeah, it was 50 years ago. So now we're trying to get back to the moon. Anyway, so apparently there's lots of water ice on the south side of the moon, the southern polar region of the moon. Ice, though. It's kind of cold there in the moon.
Right.
On the backside. Anyway, so I think, I don't know anything about NASA. I think NASA has contracted with these independent contractors, not a privacy, to go there, send your ship up there and tell us.
See what happens.
See what's going on so we can get ready to send Artemis up there before we send people back. because we've never been to that side of the moon. This isn't where we landed in the Sea of Tranquility. This is the other side. I just broke out Sea of Tranquility.
Yeah,
I did.
That's pretty good.
But we landed on the. This is now checking out the south side of the moon. It's a little dicier down on the south side. A little bit more crime and everything down there on the south side. You know, most people, you don't know what you're going to get on the south side of the moon.
Moon rocks.
This show sucks. Let me get
So
Harry in
NASA.
here. I mean, we're talking about yeah. I got another note.
Nerd stuff.
Here's a nerd thing, Grizz. There's hope for you yet. Winthrop University in Rock Hill, South Carolina. You got any eligibility left? Winthrop University has handed out what's believed to be the first of 2 athletic scholarships for students to play college cornhole.
Let's
can
go.
Get a scholarship now to play cornhole.
I don't know. Scott and I played a couple years ago, and I didn't do very well.
College cornhole.
Man, the bigger the gut, the better the player. That's how I say. Cornhole. The bigger the guy, man. He just leans back, barely throws his arm, boom, in the hole, boom, in the hole, boom. I mean, we got destroyed.
That tells you how the show is circling the drain. When I start with college cornhole, scholarships for college cornhole, that lets you know that the show is circling the drain. Hey, Eli.
It's Friday.
Eli. Hey, there's a show you can host there pretty soon. The host is circling the drain. Come and have my show.
We might be able to afford him.
Let me get Harry in here. Harry, welcome to the show. How are you? Harry? Grizz, did you cut off Harry?
May have accidentally put on LSU Lynch there for a second. Hold on.
Well, I'll talk to Lynch.
Try it again.
So Harry or Lynch? I don't know. Who's up, Harry or Lynch? Talk to me. Harry. Lynch, why don't you talk? Hey, who is this? Oh,
who is this?
This is Garrett, probably.
This is probably Garrett. I mean, I heard a yell, and it sounded like LSU Lynch. I could have been wrong.
See, my guy, he puts up on the thing Harry, Garrett, and Lynch. Then he tells me that they're going to Harry. Then he says it's Lynch, and it turns out it's Garrett.
Go to Garrett.
I told you, the show sucks. The show sucks. The producer sucks. The host sucks. We all suck.
It's Friday.
Hey, Garrett, what's going on?
Hey, man, how are you?
Suck is how I am, apparently.
I was listening. It sounds like it.
Yeah.
But listen, I was going to tell you on the, is it Odysseus or Odysseus?
Odysseus.
Odysseus.
Yeah.
We're going with Odysseus.
I know my language. My languages.
If you could get around on the other side of it, you'd see an Alabama sticker on there. I'll just let you know.
little RTR on the moon. Little rotad on the moon.
Yeah.
Look at Caleb DeVore's looking for players. He's looking for players up there to see if they got any 5 stars on the moon.
Well, and something else too. I'll tell you this. I moved into a new neighborhood, right? And I'm talking to a guy down the street, and I asked him something simple, and he came off with this crazy equation about how to solve it. And I said, "What are you, a rocket scientist?" He goes, "Well, yes, I am."
Yeah.
I said, "Really?" He says, "Yes." So I have all these questions. You know the tinfoil and everything that looks like everything's wrapped in?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what the only thing? Excuse me. The only metal that won't corrode in space? It's
Apparently,
gold.
It's gold?
Yes.
Yeah, it's gold.
It's gold foil. So that's what that is? That's gold foil? Is that what they're doing? They're wrapping it with gold foil? Okay.
Right. And so I also had other questions. I said, well, of course, everybody wants to know how to use a bathroom. And he says they have a standing, you stand and use the restroom. I said, what about you got to do number 2? He said, same thing. I said, that's got to be some kind of a mess. And he says, well, they have a gold-plated bidet. I think he was pulling my leg on that, though.
No, he was probably pulling, yeah. I don't know how you drop a deuce with no you can't be dropping anything with no gravity.
I think it's in a bag.
You go to drop a deuce, it's Oh, they vacuum it out.
I think it's in a bag. Yeah.
Yeah, but that bag is still you'd have to have gravity if you're dropping a deuce in a bag. It's a vacuum. That makes sense.
Yeah, and then when they urinate, they have a vacuum tube that urinates, which I'd spend a lot of time there. I'm sure.
I was going to say, the guy might spend a little too much time in the bathroom with that urinating vacuum.
I'd be afraid to be spending too much time in the bathroom with that thing.
Yeah, you would, but not the rest of us.
Well, I mean, you never know; it might pull right off.
Well,
wouldn't scare me at all, mate.
No. Take a lot more than a vacuum to pull this baby off. I'll tell you that right now.
But I was going to ask, you're talking about the coaching staff, right?
Yeah.
So you're concerned about the coaching staff isn't really who it is. It's just how they have it configured with a special teams and all.
I'm not going to take anything away from these coaches. I mean, we'll see. I hope they go. What I don't understand is having, two co-defensive coordinators along with a defensive coordinator and an associate head coach and an assistant head coach.
It makes no sense.
It doesn't.
Makes
it's
no
ridiculous.
sense. I get you. It makes no sense.
Yeah. Appreciate the call. Good job by Garrett. When I coached the inside linebackers, I worked very close with the D-line coach. D-line coach was younger than me. I started as a D-line coach. The D-line coach was younger than me, though. And the inside linebackers and the defensive line have to work in unison. All of the blitz packages, the run blitz packages, all of the gap fits, everything we do together. So we would do inside drill together, and he would be handling the technique of his D-line, and I would more handle the overall drill in terms of how, okay, we're running this look or that look, and, we want the linebackers to, take backside flow or whatever it is that we were doing, I would take it, but I didn't have to be called I wasn't the run game defensive coordinator. Passing game, that stuff came in right about the end of my coaching career. Passing game coordinator, run game coordinator, run defense coordinator, pass defense coordinator. No, we got a coordinator. We got one coordinator. Did I spend more time working with the inside guys during the? Yeah, but I didn't have to be the run game defensive coordinator. Makes sense. Grizz, I'll tell you how much this show sucks. Brandon sent me a text. Apparently there's a wheelchair game in Alabama this weekend.
All right.
Wheelchair basketball.
Roll Tide.
He asked me to
if we're putting it on the air?
the game.
Oh, handicap. Oh.
He said handicap the game. I said, how can I handicap a handicap? I can't handicap the game. How can I handicap that? He wants me to put a line on the game. Can't handicap that.
Mm.
We got a break. We'll come back and see if Grizz figured out putting everybody back in order that got cut off. We'll do that next. Wrap it up. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
If those high utility bills have you seeing high numbers, make sure you give our good friends over at Talent Heating and Air a call today. They can save you some money.
That's right. We're doing one of our biggest specials ever. It's $2,000 off select units.
That's $2,000 off.
And free service calls for first responders and veterans.
Free service calls.
That's right. For the month of February, we're trying to take care of these first responders, all they do for us, and the veterans, obviously, as well.
It's Talent Heating and Air. Give them a call today at
256-503-4490.
Or you can find them online to save the money
at talenthvac.com.
It's Talent Heating and Air. One more time.
talenthvac.com. AL cert number 21014.
It's Talent Heating and Air. Give them a call to save money today.
Hello, sports fans! The Alabama State Senate will soon decide if you get the right to vote on a lottery, casinos, and sports betting. But they need to hear from you. Did you know Alabama is one of only 12 states where you can't legally bet on sports? House Bill 151 allows you to choose whether you can place a bet on the big game this weekend. Call your state senator today and tell them to vote yes on the lottery and gaming bill. For more information, go to sportsbettingalliance.org. Paid for by Sports Betting Alliance. sportsbettingalliance.org.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
No payments for 90 days on 23 and 24 models. Financing as low as 0% and the best deals of the year on America's best-selling truck for 47 years in a row. Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and I'm here to tell you it's Truck Month, the time of the year to get the best deals on F-150, Explorer, Bronco, Edge, Bronco Sport, and Escape. During Truck Month, get financing as low as 1.9% for up to 72 months on 2023 F-150 Crew Cabs, and lease payments as low as $375 a month. That's a 36-month lease with $62.82 due at signing, zero security deposit, just tax tag title, and your good credit. Offer ends 2/29/24. Call 539-9441 for complete details. At Woody Anderson Ford, we have over 40 Bronco Sports and nearly 50 Explorers and about a dozen full-size Broncos, all with great sales incentives and no payment for 90 days. Truck Month only happens once a year. Woody Anderson Ford, hope to see you soon.
Final segment of the show is brought to you by Valley Equipment Rental. Now is the time to run down a Valley Equipment Rental and get the equipment you need to get the job done this weekend. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. I don't know if you heard, there's no college football, there's no NFL football. There is a race, but you can get a lot of work done this weekend, and you get all done for the price of one day, and you don't have to have the equipment back in until Monday morning at 8 o'clock, so you can work all weekend long to your heart's delight. Valley Equipment Rental has everything that you need. They are locally owned. Ross Roberts and his team do a tremendous job at Valley Equipment Rental. How about Free-for-All Friday? Maybe we'll call it Free-for-All Friday, because that's what it's been. It's just a free-for-all. Let me go back down the lines.
Should be, Harry.
You think you got... Should be. Now we're just guessing. We're just guessing who's up next.
Come on, Harry.
Harry, welcome to the show. How
Tom, you there?
I'm here. Harry, how are you?
See, he sounded like LSU Lynch when he first yelled. So
I don't know how to take that. Hey,
I don't know.
Positively.
Just want to comment on the special teams coordinator. That's a recipe for disaster when you spread it among different coaches. You got to have one butt to kick and one neck to choke. And when you're on the game in the tempo of the game, those team of athletes that you've got for those packages, they got to understand who's in charge and who's putting them on the field and what the drill is that they're going for. If you've got the different coaches during the game trying to do that in the heat of the game, it's not going to work well, and you're going to come up short and be penalized or miss an opportunity. So that one butt to kick and one neck to choke is that special teams coordinator, and the athletes know who's accountable to them, who they are accountable to that person for their performance, and who's there. If you got it across multiple coaches, it's just a recipe for disaster. As an Auburn fan, I'm delighted. Hopefully we'll get to take advantage of the situation, but it's going to be a real problem if they stick with that. That's all I got to add today. And I don't think the show sucked that bad. I thought you had a potpourri of lame topics, but you managed it well.
Okay. Thank you.
Potpourri of lame topics.
A potpourri of lame topics. That's what we shoot for on a Friday. The potpourri free-for-all Friday. Bama Todd says, I remember you have an interview with Eli Gold about midseason. I remember him saying that the reason he wasn't traveling is because other schools weren't accommodating handrails to help him into the booth the way they did at Alabama, and travel would be too much for him. Is that not right? No, you're absolutely right. That's what he said. He said. Now, finally, LSU Lynch. LSU Lynch, welcome to the show. How are you?
Look here, I done got upset having to wait so long, but I'm gonna tell you this:
you were third
we're gonna
anyway.
have a reaction. Look here, we're gonna have a reaction Monday about this show today because I thought it was a great show.
Oh, really?
Thank you, Cowgirl, for calling in. Call back in some more because I'm upset. Look here, I done got banned from the Huntsville Havoc fan club Facebook site, and we will reflect on that. Monday. But thank you for taking my phone call. Look here. Thank you for the listeners that are listening, that are actually calling in. Thank you, Grumpy. You hear me? For reiterating. Look here. If you give us time, Tom, we can call in because there's a bunch of listeners that you have that want to call the show.
Yeah.
But, you're running your, 15-minute kind of ads. I see it.
Yeah, but see, what you don't understand, is I don't know how many of them I want to talk to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's a few.
It could be a bunch of guys that want to call in, but, TJ Tiger says, obviously, as an Auburn fan, this whole thing makes me feel bad for Chris Stewart. Chris is an awesome play-by-play guy and deserves the gig. Just hope they don't ask him questions about it and just let him do his job on Saturdays. Just my opinion. By the way, you're the best in the business and the best that 97.7 has to offer by a country mile. That's very nice of you to say, TJ. I appreciate that. Yes, Chris is the one. I feel bad for Chris in terms of that, but I think Chris is going to be great, and he should be great, and he should be loved. Fritz says we need a pick this week. He wants. Is C. Stewart employed by the university? A book I have says 2007 was the last year Shepard was a full-time PA announcer at age 97. Yeah, we did get some on that. That was amazing. That was amazing. I think Chris is an employee of the Crimson Tide network because I think he does some other things for them. I think he is an employee. I believe that. Chubby Ninja says, I have a T-shirt that says, of course your opinion matters, not just to me. I wear it on specific occasions when I don't want to hear people's thoughts. Yeah, I tell my kids all the time, if I want your opinion, I'll beat it out of you. All right, let me get Vinny in here to close things out.
Negative.
Vinny!
He just hung up, too.
Oh,
I was going to put him on. I was
going
leaving it enough time to get him on, too. Yeah.
Bama Brad, who was in earlier, he said WD is a man about town and would win the food. He's talking about Natty Danny. Is a man about town and would win the food every week, heading towards 2 major conferences and a salary cap in NCAA football. Yeah, we already have 2 major conferences. The question is, how big are these 2 major conferences going to get? That's the only question. Kramer says, if the Trash Pandas have a season like last year, how long do they last in Madison? Forever. People don't care how. Look, they'll be better, but it's not really about that. It's about going to the game. Does anybody remember what place the Trash Pandas came in last year? Is anybody not buying tickets to the Trash Pandas because of last year? No. Text window, the worst day of a Tom Abraham show is better than the best day of any other radio show. All right, so that he just confirmed that the show sucked today. See? And Tomahawk Dave calls it Cluster Bleep Friday. That's pretty funny.
That's thinking the same thing.
That is pretty funny. It is Cluster Bleep Friday. It's over. Paul Feinbaum is next. I'm Tom Abraham. This is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
It's time to go fly a kite.
Let's go fly a kite.
A ray of hope